What's happening, Wally? What the lick read? Oh, man, I can't call it. I'm trying to get like you, baby. All right, now, I'll catch you on the 53rd. Now, this is a conversation you might hear from what we lovingly call an old head, you know. But the lick is something that has continued to be a part of our modern vernacular, where you hit a lick, you know. And that's crazy because lick hasn't it hasn't evolved into something else. Like, we got to stop saying it around white people for y'all ruin it. When you hit a lick or get your lick back, those kind of mean two different things. You hit a lick is like the scheme, the scam, what play we gonna run to make a little money today. So when you say, hey, what the lick read, it's almost like, what's the weather like? What we working on today? Like, how we gonna run this play, right? And running the play is just, it's the scheme we're doing to make some money. Nigga, what the lick read? Prophet Wayne says, real G's move in silence like lasagna, where it's like, I'm not finna tell you can't tell everybody to play, right? It's definitely a need to know basis. And that's something that has carried into like all parts of my career. You can't tell. Look, circle got to get small. Everybody can't go. That's a reality. It is what it is. And so sometimes you just got to run the play and let the play speak for itself. I think a lot of times that happens. Now, I can't believe I'm finna do this, but in defense of Drake, sometimes Drake just does the corny thing that he's gonna do, like Hotline Bling and the dance, or making an album that just sounded like, why would you make this? He's like, I'm just running the play because y'all gonna love it, because all of a sudden one dance became the biggest song. Although we were like, why are you doing a record like this? He read the lick. He read the play. Yeah. So sometimes it's really hard to tell when you got somebody that be talking out the side of their neck all the time. Or like my mother-in-law used to say, man, even that boy Elbow talks. You can't really, you got to decipher what I need to take serious. And some stuff that sound outlandish be actually a lick. It be stuff that like you never know. Like, you don't know what's going on. Now, I did a little bit of work because I had a sneaking suspicion that this was actually in gangsterizations a pretty good play. What the hell is Trump talking about with Greenland? Big homie, what the lick read? Hood politics, y'all. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Welcome. I'm actually super excited to talk about this because this the type of play in politics that I really enjoy explaining, if you will. It's horribly imperialistic, a la 19th century spheres of influence trashness. But I love the idea that something may seem one way, but is actually another way. Somebody that's like reading the field at like, you know, a LeBron level understanding of the game, right? Few people truly understand the game. Now, when we say the game, that's some Bay Area talk, but like Too Short, E40, and then the thing that Kendrick is referencing with the PlayStation handles in his Super Bowl appearance is a reference to like, yo, it's all a game. And sometimes you run game. You got to know how to play game. Sometimes I give you game, right? You got to know how to play the game. 50 Cent, I know he's irrelevant to y'all unless you watch Power, but the man knows the game. He knows the game very well and played it because the way that he's still relatively relevant is because guys have dropped an album and I don't know how long. He just knows how to play the game. He played it very well. Some people are truly hustlers. You know what I'm saying? Like, and at the end of the day, at 50's core, whether he was selling drugs, selling music, selling shoes, selling vitamin water, or selling a TV show, 50 is a hustler and just knows the game, right? And if anything, although he's a court jester, I'm like, you just say, look, quote me. Although I find Donald Trump to be a court jester, a very dangerous court jester, the man knows the game. Clearly plays it pretty well. So we're going to talk about this Greenland thing. Why the, what the, who would, why would you, what are we doing here? Okay. Y'all ready? This one's going to be fun. Okay. First, where the hell is Greenland? And a little bit of history of it. Now, the maps that been hanging on your wall, and this is one of the jokes that was going around about Greenland, is like, it makes it look a lot bigger than it is because of the way that map projections work. If you're trying to take a sphere and make it flat, it's going to make the stuff up top and in the middle and on the bottom, it's going to warp them in size. So one of the jokes was like, Trump saw Greenland and was like, oh, that's huge, let's buy it. And but it's because of the projection of the map, that's why he thought it was that big. Now, it would be funny if that was the case. I don't think that's the case for the rest of the reasons I'm about to tell you in this podcast. But Greenland, another one of the jokes is that it got mixed with Iceland. Like the joke is that like Iceland is very green and Greenland is full of ice. And that Trump mixed up the two. That like it's not really Greenland, right? I don't think that's the case either. I think the case is, again, something I'm going to tell you. Now, it's located way up in the Arctic, right? It is a colony of Denmark. Now, this is going to play a very important role later. But as for now, understand that Greenland is, I mean, mile for mile, the largest island on the planet, which is silly because isn't every piece of land an island? You know, it's just a size, right? You know what I mean? They're all, I mean, it's all surrounded by water because the globe's covered in it, right? But anyway, as an argument, it's like, it's Australia, but like upside down. Because like in Australia, you could only live in the crusts because the middle of it is a big old desert. Greenland is covered in glacier. Now, as a fun fact, I didn't know this until a few weeks ago, or at least I never thought about it, that glaciers are big old ice that's on land. The ones in the ocean are called icebergs. Duh, right? So for it to be a glacier, it has to be on land. I don't know why I never thought of that. But anyway, glaciers are on land, icebergs are in the ocean. Now, it's covered in this. It ain't but 59,000 people up there. It's a sleepy fisherman's town that is Arctic. Culturally, like Newfoundland, like Alaska, like, you know, the Northern Territories in Canada. It's a whole other culture up there that really ain't got nothing to do with the rest of us. They live an entirely different existence, right? But why all of a sudden is somebody talking about buying it from Denmark? Well, what you will learn today is that it's not all of a sudden, that there is a play here and things have changed. But before we talk about like why Trump would want it, let's talk about a little bit of history and what has happened before. Now, we've had our eyes on Greenland since, believe it or not, we bought Alaska. Now, why did we buy Alaska? Well, I need you to think about why we would buy Alaska. Well, it's defense. It's defense and its resources. Do you know what's in Alaska? Nigga, everything. Everything's up there. But also, what's up there is places where we can place military bases. We could place military bases. We could place shipping things. These are strategic spots that provide us with extra protection because, again, all America has ever thought about is just protection, right? After we bought Alaska, we was also looking at Greenland. Now, why we looked at Greenland was for the same thing. It's resources. It's protection. But we weren't there first. It was already a colony of Denmark. Now, you have to remember that the Dutch at one point, you may not, like a lot of people forget that the Dutch were the superpower of the 1500s. The superpower before Britain became the superpower were the Dutch, right? The East India Trading Co. Like these people, the Dutch ran the world for a while. They were the America of their century, right? They were the British Empire of their century, right? So Greenland was a colony there where they were able to exact taxes and do everything that colonies do. Now, one would wonder like why you would want that. Well, again, it's right next to Canada, right? There's a lot of everybody's getting land right now, right? Everybody's working. They trying to creep on a come up. You know, the Americas at the time is, you know, it's France, it's Spain, right? Like the land was being sucked up so fast. Denmark was feeling like they was losing their grip on the world. And then they finally did because of a very similar economic crash that we on our way into. But we'll talk about that a little later. But anyway, the Dutch were in Greenland before all of us, right? Now, as time went on, we started thinking about it again during World War II. Why did we start thinking about it during World War II? Was because, well, Denmark was taken over by Germany. Well, if Denmark falls to Germany, then that would mean that all of Denmark's spheres of influence become products or become under the control of Nazi Germany. Now, why in the hell would we be okay with Germany having a colony on our continent? Now, granted, that was obviously misguided because of the issues for which Nazism was creeping into the American actual land and mines that apparently we never rooted out. But the point was, we can't have like no Nazis that close. We need to figure out how to own Greenland because we just can't, y'all not taking care of it, man. We can't have y'all be that close. That's just not safe. So eventually Denmark was like, okay, if we just keep Greenland a colony, then eventually, because everybody seemed to want a piece of this. Everybody seemed to want a part of all this, but like, it's ours. Look, I don't understand why everybody's so worried about it. Like, we better do something, one, before Greenland rebels and fights for their independence. And two, because we're not the military power we used to. Like, honestly, truthfully, realistically, if any of the G7 like actually wanted Greenland, they could just invade it. There's no army there. They could just walk in and be like, yeah, you ours now. You could, right? So Denmark's not stupid. They don't want to lose they little homies. So they was like, okay, this is what we need to do. We need to stop treating you like a side piece and start making you one of us. So Denmark went out of their way to make Greenland an actual part of Denmark. So now Greenlanders have Denmark passports, which means they're now allowed to work with, trade with, sell, buy, move about with any countries that Denmark is connected to. Denmark controls their markets. The only problem is these people ain't Dutch. Like, we're Greenlanders. We're an entirely different culture. It's like American Samoa. They're an entirely different culture. Guam, you're an entirely different culture. But it's America, right? So they like, I don't like this. It really don't serve us well per se, because if we were to literally just go a few miles and try to sell some fish to America, we got to go through y'all on the other side of the Atlantic. I would love to be able to just trade with America, to be able to just trade with Canada, but like, we got to go through all the connections you got. You not even over here. Y'all don't even live over here. So it really don't serve us well, but I guess it is what it is. I mean, I'm glad to have a passport, you feel me, rather than just being a side piece country. Like, we glad to be like an actual country. Now, what happens next is, now that Greenland is technically Denmark, people in Denmark can move to Greenland. And now they don't have to change their passports. They don't have to get a dual citizenship. They could just go. And if they could just go, they can now start moving in, making businesses, and eventually turn Greenland into Hawaii, where your culture is gone, right? And all the businesses that are ran there have really more to do with the mother country rather than the culture that's already here. So if you Greenland, you like, I mean, thanks. I mean, I guess like, now I know we not gonna get invaded by nobody because we got y'all. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't really know if this really help us. So that's the history of what's going on up there. It's a fisherman town. It was a colony of Denmark. Once people started talking about how maybe they kind of wanted the little taste of what's going on up there, they was like, we better make them an actual citizen. So they made them actual citizens. But as far as Greenland is concerned, their life isn't any better or worse because of that. Matter of fact, they just feel like their culture's being erased. And like, we're not Dutch. Like, we aren't that. But I guess now, why would Trump be talking about it? So, what's going on up there, and why are we even interested? So one of the things that's going on up there is rare minerals. The same thing that we was tapping in with Ukraine over. The deal that Trump was trying to make with Ukraine was for rare minerals. Now, remember, Trump's attitude is drill, baby, drill, right? Now, he's selling that to the right wing as oil. That's what he's selling that to. But again, Trump know to play. Because remember, he wasn't trying to bully Volodymyr Zelensky for oil. He's not even worried about oil coming from Russia. What is he drilling for? Is rare minerals. What you need rare minerals for are chips, as in like microprocessing chips. You need cobalt for our iPhones. You need some of these other rare minerals for solar panels. And since we don't make them, and since Taiwan make all the chips, because for some reason we can't get America to move into the future, like y'all still want your dinosaur ran cars, and Trump ain't stupid. In this sense, you got to control the minerals. If I can't get us to build chip making factories, if I can't get America off the teat of the dinosaurs, I'm talking about oil, then one way I can make us wealthy is, well, if we control the raw materials it takes to make all this stuff, then now y'all got to buy from us, which, here's the funny part, that's a global economy. So all of y'all that are arguing about the globalists, do you understand that Trump is one? Because what he's saying is, since we don't make it all, other things are made other places, I need to be a part of that. The global economy. But we're going to sit that to the side for a second. So Trump say, yo, if I get up there, we start drilling, we could own them minerals. Now, there's a lot of steps between that. But I think the other thing that makes this place very important is climate change. Because remember, the Arctic been frozen. But since the Arctic's not frozen now, well, obviously it's not fully unthawed, but since the Arctic's not frozen now, guess what can travel through there? Shipment containers, oil rigs. Now, do you know how much faster it is to go from Europe to Greenland through the Arctic rather than, just think of like a ball, a sphere, a ball, right? Are you going to go around the equator or are you going to go from the top? It's faster at the top. So if it's faster at the top, if I need to get something from Europe to that, why would I go across the entire Atlantic Ocean? That's ridiculous. It's going to take too long. You cut the trip in half. If you can you could take a shortcut through the top of the planet. Have you ever flown across country or flown across the world? The route you take a lot of times depends on, of course, where you going, but it'd be so much faster if you just go another, like we in California, when you fly to Australia, what are your options? Do you want to fly over the Pacific Ocean? Or you trying to fly across the entirety, you go the back way, cross the entirety of the other land masses to come to the other end? No, man, like, yo, it's so much quicker if you just go this way. When you fly from New York to London, it's like a straight line, dude. You go around the top because it's faster. So this is what they're doing. If I own Greenland, then that means any import and exporting out of the Americas across to Europe, you got to go through my streets. Nigga, duh. Why would I allow a random ass Denmark to have that? Denmark ain't using it. It's like, you got it, you ain't using it right. Man, give it to us. So there are opportunities there that are much better than one would think. Now, fast forward to Trump's first era in office. He floated the idea of buying Denmark because of the said reasons I just explained right now. That, like, you know, maybe this might be a thing. Now, according to most of the sources inside of Trump's department or Trump's cabinet, he wasn't really that serious. He was just like, hey, let's put together, like, let's look into this. It might be something up there. And remember, the man is a real estate mogul. Remember the man trying to buy Gaza. Well, he's trying to steal Gaza. But like, it's a no-brainer. Like, are you kidding me? Like, why, if you're a real estate dude, you like, it ain't but 25 people that live there. Let me build some resorts. Like, we all can make money. This is the lick. Like, this makes sense. Bro, we could put a base there. We could control trade lines. And I can make a little bit of sweet moolah off that real estate. This seemed like a no-brainer to me. Give it, your Denmark not using it right. You not hitting it right. Let me come over there and hit it right. I know that's crude, but that's essentially what he's saying. So he floated the idea in 2019. And the prime minister of Denmark goes, this man is out his mind. I don't know why he thinks, like, man, if you don't get the hell out of my face with all this. And Trump ain't like that. Trump ain't like somebody not taking him serious. And Trump was essentially like, Well, I was low key kidding, but if you gonna talk to me like that, you gonna be disrespectful about it. Watch this. Do you understand how Trump works? That's the most people's story. I don't know if it's true or not, but most people's story is like Trump getting made fun of by Obama was when Trump decided to run for president. Was because I don't like you talking to me like that. I ain't sit right. It ain't sit right with me how you said that to me. And the way that Trump moved is the way that a lot of times the way the set moves, where they like, you hear him dissing us? Like, nigga, us. Oh, hold up. That beef you got ain't mine. She said the prime minister of Denmark said, you crazy. He didn't say we was crazy. He said, you crazy. But he was like, if you talking about me, you talking about the United States. Ain't that right, United States? Nigga, we was like, what? Where the hell is Greenland? But I mean, I guess, what the hell? I mean, I guess, like, I don't care. Like, nigga, can we solve COVID, cuz? Like, what the hell you talking about? What is you talking about? Right? But he's like, now, if you gonna talk shit like that, nigga, let's see what's good then. I don't like being disrespected. So Trump got super serious about it. Now, if you've noticed, what I've talked the least about is actually Greenlanders, is what they actually think. We'll do that at the end. But why I think this is very important is because, again, like I said 2 weeks ago, narcissists always reveal their cards because they want you to be impressed by them. And it's becoming more and more clear to me that Trump is a 19th century guy. What do I mean by that? He views himself as the old imperial spheres of influence, like he's playing Risk. Like, I'm trying to grab land and have spheres of influence. It's a very 19th century. It's a very empire way, not an interconnected way. It's more, that's my land, I licked it. Like, he's just kind of like, he functions in a way that the world had stopped working in. I need land grabs. And it sounds like, and it seems like he's also impressed by people that function that way, because that's how Vladimir Putin functions. Like, what Putin's trying to do is rebuild the USSR. He want land. I want to own this sphere of influence. I'm trying to bring back the glory. That's why he attacked Crimea. That's why he annexed it. It's like, I'm trying to expand my physical borders. That's 19th century way. Rather than, like we talked about last week, like soft power is where your power is shown in different ways. Your power is shown not in might, but in influence. But his understanding of a sphere of influence is very 19th century. It's imperialism. So I need to control the Panama Canal. I need to control, I don't want to buy Greenland. It's imperial, right? It's almost like it's analog power, right? It's like pre-internet power, right? Like, you're still printing flyers. And maybe, who knows, because as we know how trends go, maybe that's where the world is going, and I just don't know. But what he's doing is very much this, like, it's just 19th century. It's like, it's land grabbing that, like, just the world don't work like that no more. You feel me? Like, we stopped doing that since World War II. Because, like, that's just not, the internet exists. So, like, you don't necessarily have to work this way. But that's the way he fashions himself. He's trying to sit on a throne. And I think when people talk to me about, like, do I think Trump is smart or not smart, or does he know what he's doing? He's not know what he's doing. I think Trump has made his desires very clear, but he don't have the ethos, the true believerness of an Elon and a JD Vance as them being like Vance having that like monarchy weirdo dude he's reading that he's a part of. You have Elon being a part of like the rationalist, effective altruism kind of weirdo world that I think, yeah, they just did it Behind the Bastards on like the Zizians, right? So they got an ethos, right? Trump, this shit is transactional. Nigga, get me on the throne. Like, y'all can believe whatever weird shit you want to believe as long as it equals me being in power, right? These are levers. This shit is a boss. You're transactional. So me, even this, me giving the imperial 19th century thing, it's still just gang shit. I'm trying to rule territories. This is just, it's a mob boss. Like I said before, everything is transactional. What can you give me? Here a little, give and take. Here a little, there a little. Like what's going to end up with me on the throne? How can I make everybody bow down? That's the play. The play is controlling spheres of influence. There's rare minerals up there, like I said. There's trade routes up there, like I said, and we could put a military base there, and it expands our borders. And then finally, he can personally build some Trump Towers, Greenland. That's the play. Now, lastly, what does Greenland think? Next. So, in Greenland, 50% of their GDP comes from Denmark. But they're like, nigga, we're not Danish. This is not our culture. And at the end of the day, no one likes colonizers. What Greenland wants is independence. They not like, do you want to sell to the the US coming in and being like, it's like two boys fighting over a girl, and they're like, well, which one do you want to be with? I'm strong at this, and this one's been like, but I've been faithful to you this whole time. She's like, nigga, I want to be single. I belong to me. I don't want either of you. God damn it. Can I have some sort of body autonomy? Shit, man. Like, damn, I just want my own weekends. I gotta be booed up. But Greenland's got an issue, and the issue is, my nigga, you only generate half your income. What do we need to do? And they're like, well, nigga, if you let us just run our own market, we could probably make up the rest. But we do got an idea, though, because we about tired of Denmark. They say, well, we don't want to be married to America, but we also don't want to be a side piece of America, too. But how about cousins? It's like your country, but not your country. You know, like, can we do like a citizen with an asterisk, like a second class citizen, but not in a derogatory way, kind of like maybe like an American Samoa type situation. Maybe like where it's like, we're like kissing cousins, where we get all the benefits, but we ain't gotta like really well, we're cool. We'll generate our own money and vote if we need to, but we don't have to vote. Or maybe like I don't know, let's look at like a Puerto Rico situation where it's like, you kind of leave us alone till you need us. But then be cool if you threw us some bread here and there. Like, is there, I don't know, maybe we could do that. But ultimately, I just really wish y'all would just leave us the fuck alone. God damn it, man. Like, we'll figure it out. Like everybody else on the planet, we'll figure it out. Because again, can't stress this enough. Denmark, America, tomato. Nobody like a colonizer. Denmark's the lick right now. We'll see what it is. Good politics. All right, now don't you hit stop on this pod. You better listen to these credits. I need you to finish this thing so I can get the download numbers, okay? So don't stop it yet. But listen, this was recorded in East Los Boyle Heights by your boy Propaganda. Tap in with me at prophiphop.com. If you're into cold brew coffee, we got Terraform Cold Brew. You can go there.com and use promo code HOOD, get 20% off, get yourself some coffee. This was mixed, edited, and mastered by your boy Matt Osowski, killing the beat softly. Check out his website, mattosowski.com. I'm gonna spell it for you because I know. mattosowski.com, mattosowski.com. He got more music and stuff like that on there, so go and check out the heat. Hood Politics is a member of Cool Zone Media, executive produced by Sophie Lichterman, part of the iHeartMedia Podcast Network. Your theme music and scoring is also by the one and only Matt Osowski, still killing the beat softly. So listen, don't let nobody lie to you. If you understand urban living, you understand politics. These people is not smarter than you. We'll see y'all next week.